Let's get in against him. Do our speedrun of content, and then we'll get back into RuneScape and YouTube to finish off the 18 hours. Because Lord knows Genshin doesn't have that much content. Sadly. Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't know that. Damn it, Amber. Oh, what am I doing good shit? I don't have to worry about that. The day I get good shit, that's right. Totally glorious, if I ever do. Oh yeah, we can do more class. Nice. Inazuma City Copper. Still got a bit until the resin is refreshed on this.
Charge! I must leave no stone unturned. Don't waste my time. Your life is mine. Advance! Press the advantage! Give up. Time to clean up. Yep. It's nothing. Charge! Everyone on me! Give up. Advance! Charge!
surprised that did 4,000 damage. But cool to know, I guess. Let's see that's gonna fly. So all of Ito's constellations seem to center around after his ultimate thing, switching parties. I don't know why Ito gets additional charges.
Steady as stone. I'll protect us. Freeze.
2100.
Boy, you can't catch me. Attaboy! Who wants some of this? Coming through.
I mean, his playstyle is pretty fun, but the fact that his what it's debatable. I mean, yeah, he's gonna be fun, but is it going to be worth? Did I really? Oh my god, I didn't think I'd actually get it. Okay then. Can I just get Goro? Yes. Goro, thank you. Imagine I don't get Ito. I mean, what is my history on that? Wasn't that like 30 or something? Yeah, it was literally 30. Or like 18 or something. Probably 20. Well, that's everyone I wanted from the banner.
Today's a momentous occasion, your birthday. Allow me to arrange all the celebrations for you. We can make a bonfire on the beach and catch some fresh fish and crabs. I'll personally prepare a morale-boosting meal that would make even the highest-ranking generals jealous. an important day. Had to send the gang.
God damn it.
Today is an important day. I had to send the gang away, otherwise they'd be accusing me of favoritism. Here, take a look at this. I got you. The greatest birthday gift combo ever. 1 top grade Oni Kabuto. I'll have you know it took me 3 whole days and nights to catch this bad boy. 1 out of print collectible trading card that took me 300 rounds to get my hands on. And finally, a birthday song performance performed personally by yours truly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear traveler. Happy birthday to you.
I'm more impressed by the beatboxing beside the singing. I won't lie. Anyways. Well. I feel like this might become a tradition of waiting for temples. Hila, you are now level 10. Park. Park. So we'll do that in a second. Where are my other commissions at? Damn. Over there, over there. Oh, and over there. Okay. Let's go to you first.
More speed. Right.
Do I need to level Goro or Ito? Just to use their talents, though. Probably not.
Swear by my sword. Beg for mercy. Crush. Shudder. Beg for mercy. Freeze to the core. I condemn you.
Freaking deleted. I think I might actually. I'm not sure if I want to level.
More speed.
Yoda's ear old or not.
Beg for mercy.
Damn, I got him.
Missile pack a punch. You're stuck now.
Cut that out.
Eye for an eye.
Quite crazy. It's kind of a waste not having Ito in the party if I'm around trees, to be honest. Thank you. Feel like an hour passed already.
The hunt is on. This'll pack a punch. This is a new one.
Did I really not go see the collector? Oh, good lord. I believe I did, just not as much as I should have.
More speed.
Okay, so I did collect seeds, just didn't get as much as I thought I would. Yeah, it's fine.
This realm is
14. Sag. I need to go do a ley line. Actually, I need to play pearl. Guess I can do that. Guess I don't need Silo.
Company, fall in.
I can do it without Silo, I guess. Oh wait, I need Silo for the extra movement. Need Silo. Get rid of the alloy. Oh yeah, gotta do that. How much longer do I have left on that teleport? Probably press no, right? I will place no one. There you go. Wait. What? Probably should not have jumped off.
time to scout. More speed.
what's happening? Cigar, Bruno. And seaweed. Put it confused.
Let's get down to business. Okay.
Climb the cliff. Yeah.
More speed.
One strike will suffice.
The hell? They can go through the roof. A little cheating.
More speed.
Can you? Oh my, Yula. Oh my god. Climb correctly. The hell is that bullshit?
Time to step.
Oh, come on. Really? What is getting myself? Oh, for the two in the water. 47. Demon. I forgot to change that out for a while.
I condemn you. More speed. Blood of frost. More speed.
I thought you died.
Where to this time?
I just realized this party is almost all 5 stars. Besides Sayo.
More speed. Shudder. Got something for ya. The hunt is on. Beg for mercy. Freeze to the core. Eye for an eye.
66? Stop. 79. Should be with the next one.
Ever seen one of these? You're stuck now. Barbados. Got something for ya. This is a new one.
There he came out. Raw meat. There. Enjoy the raw meat. convenient, but also inconvenient spawn of slimes. So kill him without getting hit by his blade. Yeah, I didn't do that. Can't be that hard, right? Hopefully I can get up. Sorry, it might take a while. Don't get hit by his blade.
Blood of frost. Shut up. Rock and ruin. Ever seen one of these? You're stuck now. More speed. Wind, hear me. This is a new one. Forward splash! More speed. Beg for mercy. Freeze to the core. Crush. I condemn you.
I didn't get it, did I? Somebody can play it? So the one where he jumps down. Haha, got it. So it was just the jumping blade. That's what I thought. Poker. I don't have anything to buy. Then. It is so bad. I need strawberries, sunflower, and lettuce. Go this one over. Oh my god, can you make it? I have everything I need, I just need pearls and the water droplets. I think leveling Goro will be... I think leveling Ito will be on a strict, like, if anyone wants to help, kind of thing.
More speed. Shut up. Crush. Beg for mercy. Eye for an eye. Shut up. This'll pack a punch. You're stuck now.
How did that miss?
Barbados. Crush. Blood of frost.
Defense heavy piece. That's funny. 3 of the 20 I mean? forging. Whatever, well. There's nobody that can help with these gems right now. Huh? All I need now is pearls and the droplets. And 120,000 tomorrow. That'll come at some point.
Step aside. Ito's back in town.
I think I'm gonna keep him on because we're in Nagasama just because it matches. Literally about it. think that was 5 hits.
That's me.
Yeah, I forgot I did that. Strong charter.
Attaboy.
The sweeping attack is
That's me.
fairly high. Wait, he doesn't hold. Oh, that's dumb. Oh well. Kinda dumb.
Got something for ya. This is a new one.
Let's roll. Can't catch me. Who wants some of this?
I think the ideal way of attacking with Evo is build all your stacks, wait till the mask is full, and then hold charge attack.
What's your battle plan?
Don't underestimate the Beatles. They can be some of the toughest little guys around. Want to know what's on this Beatles diet? Sweat and tears, that's what. That's how it gets stronger. I think we can all learn something from it. That's me. Attaboy! It's showtime!
So he builds stacks faster in his ult. Okay.
Wait, hear me. This'll pack a punch.
Actually, I need to test it again. Clear. The attack range is pretty far. I'll give them that.
That's me.
Well, definitely a useful character later on, but as of right now,
Can you go catch up on my sleep?
I don't have anything.
Beg for mercy. I condemn you.
The Geometer will be interesting for sure. This will take a while for me to build.
Visibility is excellent. If we head to higher ground, we can do a full recon of enemy activity in the area.
Wasn't it just sunny where I was?
Shudder! More speed.
I don't understand why. Yeah, like a flying up would have made us.
More speed. Beg for mercy. Freeze to the core. Eye for an eye. More speed.
Sitting on rock swings. By using
More
them.
speed. The hunt is on. Time to scout. More speed. Crush.
I mean, no doubt, you and Girl are going to see a lot of playtime with me because I get trees when I need them. And leave them up for a minute. That was a situational thing, so.
seen one of these? This is a new one. Bullet splat! Shudder! More speed. Beg for mercy. Got something for ya. You're stuck now. Barbados, cleanness. Good grief. Shudder. Vengeance will be mine. Eye for an eye. More speed.
No. Just no. I'm waiting 5 hours until this spotlight's girl. You know?
More speed.
I wonder what mechanic they're gonna come up with.
Under the umbrella, or you'll get soaked. We can't risk catching cold, because it might turn into something more serious. Yeah. I can't go avenging my clan by picking on the sick girl, can I?
I mean, yeah, but you really want to.
Beg for mercy. Ever seen one of these? This is a new one.
I'm the head honcho of the Arataki gang, and everyone knows my names. Names, I have many. Arataki, the one and Oni Ito. Arataki, the Oni Sumo King Ito. Arataki, the pride of Oni Ito. Arataki, Beetle Gladiator Ito. Arataki, the ultimate TCG champion Ito. Arataki, he might lose, but he'll never admit defeat-o. Anyway, these are some of the ones I usually go by, so go ahead, take your pick. I'll respond to whichever one you choose, I promise. You're welcome. Arataki numero uno Ito, here in the flesh. Best flavor in the world? The sweet, sweet taste of victory. And that's why I've never spent a single mora on any of my snacks. I've won them all, fair and square. That's right. Don't underestimate the beetle. They can be some of the toughest little guys around. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Want to know what's on this beetle's diet? Sweat and tears, that's what. That's how it gets stronger. I think we can all learn something from that. Real men don't carry umbrellas. Oh, boy, wow, it's really starting to pick up. Quick, come on, get yours out. Come on, go. Hey, Raiden Shogun, is that you? Well, guess what? You're not the boss of me. Uh-huh, that's right, you heard me. Go ahead, strike me down. All right, it's time for a snowball fight. You're never gonna win, though. Ooh. The sky is clear and the sun is shining. Time to get the Oni Kabuto out for some training. Come on, little guy, let's go. Bottom line, never let the wind get to ya, especially when you got a killer hairstyle like mine. Ooh, yeah. Morning, sunshine. Hey, so listen, I'm fresh out of Mora, again. But hey, who needs some lousy job when we can just go find somewhere fun to hang out, huh? What do you say? Now that we've had some grub, why don't we go find somewhere to kick it for a while? Hanamizaka? Nah, boring. Tenryo Commission? No. Forget it. Let's go hang around Rito. Shh. You hear that? Oh no! It's a ghost! Run! Psych! I got you good there. I got you, didn't I? If you're tired, go ahead and call it a night. Me? Oh, don't worry. Nah, I sleep with my eyes open. Literally. Oh, so they're saying I can't hold down a real job, huh? Well, sorry to break it to you, but I'm a delinquent. That means it's my job not to have a real job. And if anyone's got a problem with that, who's got a problem with that, huh? You got a problem with that? You got a problem with... It's okay. Sorry, I got a little worked up there. Where was I? Oh, yeah, so, work isn't really my thing. But don't worry, I don't rob or steal or anything like that. When I'm really running low on funds, I just take the odd job here and there to make ends meet. You know, like transporting stuff, delivering documents, helping businesses attract customers, just enough to keep the wolf from the door. Hey, so I always see you running around everywhere doing this and that for other people, but you're not in it for the Mora, are you? Nah, you're just straight up looking out for your fellow man. I know a true homie when I see one, and no one appreciates a homie's homie more than yours truly. Put it here, partner. You and I are gonna make a great team. I just know it. If you ever have something on your mind, you can always try writing into That's Life magazine's advice column. Miss Hina always manages to come up with an encouraging and heartwarming response for all her readers. Just look at me. I used to be a lost soul, but not anymore. And it's all thanks to her. Oh, that reminds me. I managed to sign up for one of her upcoming meet and greets. Oh, I've been counting down the days. Wish it would go faster. Question for you. Do my horns look boring once you get used to them? Cause, I was thinking of switching up the style, going for like a total overhaul, you know? I'm thinking, paint them in rainbow stripes and then strap a few fireflies on for good measure. Huh? I bet that'd turn some heads on the streets. Like, dude, you're rocking those sweet rainbow horns, man. Yeah. Oh man, this is totally genius! I'm gonna round up the gang and get them working on it ASAP. Want to know the real secret to catching Oni Kabuto? It's all in the eyeballs. You gotta keep those bad boys squeaky clean at all times. Make sure your eyesight's as sharp as a hawk. Trust me, when you're in the middle of a thunderstorm and the rain's coming down and the wind's blowing in your face, you gotta watch out because lavender melons and Oni Kabuto, well, they can really start to look the same. Believe me, I know. I know what you're thinking. I don't see it. How did this guy get to become the boss of the Arataki gang on the back of beetle fighting and trading card games? Well, you're right. Those are just child's play. Want to know the hard skills that really got me where I am? Eating ramen standing upside down, sleeping with my eyes open, playing the harmonica with my nose, and swatting houseflies with my hair. Yeah, I know. Bet you see it now, huh? Beetle fighting, trading card games, spinning tops, kendama, hide and seek, you name it, I can play it. What do you say? Pick one and we'll have a little contest? Just make sure you're ready to get thrashed. Ha ha! Lollipops are pretty much the best things ever. The candy tastes awesome, but also, it looks really cool just having a stick hanging out of your mouth. It gives me like a real punk kind of vibe. Here, you try it. Well, I am an Oni, so there's nothing I hate more than beans. Soybeans, mung beans, whatever. I hate them all. Just touching one is enough to set off my allergies, let alone eating them. We have to get people to resist this constant urge to throw beans everywhere.
Beans? That's interesting. It's interesting that Ito had something to say about this Hina, even though it's Goro.
More speed. More speed. This weather is a hindrance. The thunder drowns out all other sounds, hampering my perception of the surrounding environment.
I think I'm gonna try to rush through this. And if we have enough time, we can do Ito's quest or save for tomorrow.
More speed.
Either way.
Crush! Got something for ya. More speed. Flood of frost. Rack and ruin. Huh? swear by my sword. Vengeance will be mine. I condemn you. More speed. Shudder. Rock and roll. More speed. Beg for mercy.
Can I not get stuck on stuff?
Shudder. You're stuck now. Blood of frost. Eye for an eye.
I'm being cheated slightly, but kinda hard to know.
Time to scout.
I think in the case of Geometa being for me, probably not. Maybe for others. I'll see myself over leveling into or grow with books. carousel and everything. How well does Guru clear off?
Prepare to move out.
Not at all. Not at all. He does it to the East Coast, but that's about it. That's all it's on.
Where to this time?
This is gonna be the Claymore
More speed.
forever.
Crush. Freeze to the core. Shudder. I condemn you. More speed. More speed. Beg for mercy. Crush. Beg for mercy. You're stuck now. Crush. Flood of frost. Rack and ruin. will be mine. Rack and ruin.
Oh, come on. Really?
More speed. More speed. More speed. See one of these? The hunt is on.
Really, Ann?
More
Ann?
speed.
Ugh. Let's see what she wanted. Oops. Probably should have put it in. Well. get another.
More speed. More speed. More speed. More speed. Beg for mercy. Crush. Eye for an eye. Ever seen one of these? This is a new one. Beg for mercy. Shudder. I condemn you.
Better known as a tornado spawned on top of me, but if you're not paying attention.
Time to scout.
just wanna feel like this forever. I love it when my feet don't touch the ground, touch the ground. Don't wanna let these colors fade, kaleidoscopes inside my head. Just wanna feel like this, just wanna feel like this forever.
More speed.
Just wanna feel like this forever.
More speed.
I love it when my feet don't touch the ground, touch the ground. Don't wanna let these colors fade, kaleidoscopes inside my head. Just wanna feel like this, just wanna feel like this forever.
More speed. This way.
Yeah. Damn it. Why you go out of the birds?
More speed. Crush. More speed. Shut up. Back and rolling. More speed. Identity.
Wait. Is it too early? Oh, don't tell me it's too early.
More speed. Beg for mercy. More speed.
Didn't I just see two birds? I don't know that. believe. Just reset. Well.
More speed. Shudder.
2 and 3. How many remixes of this song? Jesus Christ.
I'm tired of guard duty.
Knights and aristocrats share the same cultural heritage, but the knights had enough sense to do away with all the superfluous details. vengeance will be mine. Rack and ruin.
Oh, that's the wrong. Reset. Is it now? Leeway. Let's do that until next time.
Add astro.
That's enough for tonight. I'll do the story tomorrow.
How nostalgia is holding gaming back. And I think this is true.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Willie here. Nostalgia. It was so much better back in my day. If there's one thing that's going to sell, it's something that you know people have loved beforehand. A safe bet, if you will. Instead of building on and creating things that are new, let's put in place that once successful framework and just do it again. Under new graphics, new ports, tweaked features.
It's like how many fucking... Like, this is the same thing, right? It's like, yeah, every company nowadays, they don't want to try new things because they're worried that that new thing could lose them money. That's why we get a new Spider-Man. We're getting a remake of Top Gun. Who the fuck wanted a remake of Top Gun? Like, no, who asked for this? Like, who asked? Like, I didn't want this. Me? Really? You want a fucking 80s style movie, fucking with Tom Cruise being a badass? You, like, how, you can't even, like, you can't, no, man. It's a remake, it's a sequel? Let it fucking die. Let it be what it is, okay?
Additions, for a new price tag, of course. And fans of games tend to be quite at the whim of the developer. Each successive title an addition to the collection and the latest in the must-play series.
Yep.
But for a long time now, game developers across many a genre have wasted no time to make sure that the games that you grew up with are being brought back to life.
Demon's Souls was
with
great.
A great deal of care and
To be
attention
fair.
that lead old and new audiences alike to rediscover a relic of the past.
I love
now
this game
much
so
less
much.
clunk and much more spunk. Sometimes you wonder how on earth this was ever given a proper look at, and somebody said, yeah, that's about ready to go. Who am I kidding? We know why. It's for shareholders and quarterly reports, don't we?
Sure
Maybe this
was.
whole video is one big projection from a person and a channel where content has focused around the re-release of a game for a long time, but I've gamed for much longer than this, and it didn't start with MMOs for me either. I think back to it now, and so many of the games which I grew up with have been remastered or re-released now. Is the safety net of a re-release always going to be enough for the game developer and player alike? Or should the future of potential series instead be placed more in the limelight? Should that time and expense be put better elsewhere? Let me tell you a little story of some of my experiences.
I think the Demon's Souls was a great idea of how to remake a game, because Demon's Souls was a remake. It wasn't just a re-release. They changed a number of things. They fixed some things. They rounded off the rough edges. And like overall, like I played Demon's Souls. I probably put like 300, 400 hours into Demon's Souls. It was one of my favorite games, man. Like I loved it. That's why I bought my PS5. Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, a lot of people really like the Final Fantasy VII remake. I think that like a remake of a game is much more appealing to me than a re-release, because I already played the original game in many cases. I don't need to play it again.
Experiences with re-releases and remasters. Spyro Year of the Dragon on PS1 was the first game I ever 100%ed. I love the variety of the levels, the progressions through different worlds, which were centered around seasons, the collector fun theme, all the different games within the game, like the arcade-style shootout level, skateboarding, you had swimming, you had flying. It did a little bit of everything under the guise of the neat package which makes Spyro Spyro. And I remember the one final gem I was trying to get in the main game on that level, Spooky Swamp behind some bars. I was stuck trying to figure out how you get that thing forever. I even asked my mum if she could work it out. And I think it was after a lot of trial and effort I finally charged the wall behind the bars, and that turned out that's what you needed to do. Spoiler, I guess. The point is, I played that game a lot, so when I heard that they're going to be remastering the Spyro series, I was hyped to say the least, and to give the other two games in the original trilogy a go as well, which I hadn't played to the same extent. And it was at a friend's house where I first gave it a go. I hopped into the world, there it was, Spyro in all its updated glory. Went onto the first level, charged in some vases, set some things on fire, went into sunny villas, had a look around, did a bit of the skateboarding, and it just felt kind of meh. And within the space of 15 minutes, I felt as though I was kind of done with it. It wasn't a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. The animations were great, the world was colourful and vibrant, everything was in place, perfect to my memory. It was just the game itself, the gameplay, and it was me. What made the game back then was still good enough. And
because you were fucking 7, 8 years old. You were like 11 years old. It's a completely fucking different experience than whenever you come back and you're like 28 years old, you know, because like it's not a mystery to you anymore. It's not new or like, oh wow, I wonder how to figure this out. Like the way that you solved problems whenever you were 8 years old created a much bigger game than the way you solve problems now. It's like nowadays, like beating Super Mario 64. Dude, Super Mario 64 was fucking hard, man. Like I couldn't figure that shit out at all. I remember that game came out, I'm like, oh my god, this is insane. Can we just go back to this side scroller shit? Like I gotta worry about like my camera positioning and like this mob can get me. Like where's my fire flower? I can't just shoot things? Like what's going on? I have to run around Bowser? What if I touch Bowser and I die? And I guess it was so overwhelming to me for me to deal with. And if you compare that to, you know, now, it's like, okay, so you just watch Mrs. stream, okay, that's what not to do. And so now you go watch Simply, okay, that's how to play the game, all right. And so then you play that, and you just do it the right way. And it's like, oh, there's a star up at the top, okay, let's jump up to the top, all right, this is the way the angle works. Yeah, watch Clint, somebody like that, yeah, sure. And, well, Clint's probably not streaming, but you know what I'm saying, right, is that, like, these kinds of things, it's a completely different experience. That's all it comes down to. It's a completely different experience. And I can go back. I remember I did this with Super Mario RPG. I went back and I played Super Mario RPG. And I remember thinking about all the hard parts in the game. Nothing about the game was hard. I beat like every boss the first try. I got an item and I just read what the item did. And I'm like, oh, well, I can use this item in this way. And then the boss came up and I used the item in that way, and it was easy. I one-shot every boss up to Smitty. That was it.
But these days, I wasn't invested in that anymore.
Yeah, I just
Tomb
read.
Raider 1
I
was
read
another
it.
game which I spent a lot of time on, as well as just cumulatively between Tomb Raider 1 all the way up to number 5 Chronicles.
Yeah.
We don't talk about After Chronicles for Tomb Raider. And once again, I heard of plans for that to be re-released, which is different from a remaster. I suppose I should have mentioned this earlier. A remaster being a graphical and sound upgrade, a re-release is more of a reimagining of the game. And Tomb Raider 1 was reimagined as Tomb Raider Anniversary, a celebration of the start of the series that, in contrast to Spyro, was pretty good. I liked it, mainly due to the tank controls of TR1 being done away with, and climbing and getting around just felt so much more smooth and accessible, as well as some other things in particular which were smoothed out a little bit. And I suppose I'll have to give classic WoW a mention. I talk about it now and again on the channel, don't I? It's in a funny spot when you think about it as in a remake versus a remaster, because it's not really either of the two.
Yeah.
It's quite literally taking a game from over a decade ago and just putting it out again with some back-end changes which are not so visible to the player, such as the increased server size or the Warden from Legion to get rid of.
Yeah, there's a lot of things about WoW Classic that, like, if you played WoW Classic back in the day, you went back to play it now. One of the guys that helps me manage my investments, he also played WoW, and so he went and he played Classic WoW, and he just said, it's like, yeah, it was the way it used to be, but everybody's a fucking asshole and a dick, and I just quit. Like, that's it. Yeah, he just quit. Like, and I think that overall, yeah, it's the same thing, but like, and like he stopped playing because like we talked about it. I was like, yeah, because it's like you had that experience, and it was like, this is something that you did whenever you were in high school, or this is something you did whenever you were in college. And if you go back and you have it again, you just can't have it again. You never go back. Yeah. I think people always want to have like that nostalgia. They always want to have like they're chasing that dragon of having that feeling that they had before, and it's never going to come back.
But which definitely works. If it were a remaster, I'd expect different character models, animations, spell effects, updated sounds, and a soundtrack. We don't have those. For a remake, there would be new abilities and talents, dungeons, raids, battlegrounds, or zones. We don't have that either. Well, I guess that makes it a little bit closer to a remaster than a remake, but ever since the days of Nostarius to Elysium, Lights Hope, and all the fan service to the release of Classic of the game...
Speaking of gaming being different, look at this fucking strat here for Gruul's Lair. The strat is literally burn down High King Malgar while the tank pops shield wall at 100% health, just so he doesn't die.
Beyond, many players have realized that, in fact, they don't really just want a copy-paste job, but actually a reimagined experience, a classic plus version of the game, if you will.
Exactly.
And since Classic has been re-added to the PTR recently, a lot more discussion around this has been flowing up.
I'm really thinking about this a lot.
Different vision for how the game could be improved and just made better. Blizzard also did a survey some time ago to gauge interest, and I'd like to talk about this too, but not in depth here, not now. This deserves its whole own topic. The Diablo 2 Resurrected open beta has just come to a close pending its full release next month, a title which for a change I don't have any nostalgia for. I never really got fully into ARPGs, I just went from MMOs to MOBAs, back to MMOs again. And from what I can tell about the game, aside from the industry standard beta, which is really an alpha that we're using to advertise the game through YouTube and Twitch for free, it seems kind of meh. Like,
yeah, I think Diablo 2 was great back in the day, and I'll play it. I'll probably play through the campaign whenever it comes out, but I'm not like super fucking hyped about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gonna be what it is, right? Like, I want to see a new game. I want to see Path of Exile 2. I want to see Diablo 4, an old game. Who gives a fuck?
Spyro, not bad by any means. It looks great, and I'm sure as a D2 fan it's going to be a nice trip down memory lane, and probably will be a fun first playthrough through to the end game. But once you hit the end game, solved. Best farm spots, best builds and item combos have been fully mapped out for years and years. It doesn't look like there is anything which will truly make it exceptional anymore. This is similar to what classic WoW fans are really starting to experience. The game is good, and it scratches the itch and meets demands of what so many players want from an MMORPG. But what a remaster can never do to an old player is offer anything new, which sounds kind of very dumb and obvious. But if the Rubik's Cube comes to you solved, what is there left to do? Are you going to try and jumble it up and make it a mess again and resolve it.
Yeah, that's why people play Ret. That's the whole thing, right? It's like, and they do like the speed runs, and they're like, okay, well now it's not about clearing. It's not about clearing it. Now we have to do it really fast, or we have to do something else. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, McConnell wanted to do something different. I mean, you saw how that went. You play Moonkin, exactly. It's something special. Let's say that.
Gonna put it on your shelf to look at and say, that looks nice. When WoW first came out, it completely changed the landscape of the MMORPG genre forever and still has lasting impacts on it to this day. Despite changing a little within Classic, the population of it is something absolutely staggering that any developer would die to have on their game on launch day, let alone on a remake with no new content planned and not much to do for many players after nearly 3 months. Diablo 2 Resurrected feels much of the same, another hugely influential game, and the prequel to D3, which to this day is still one of the best-selling PC titles ever, and has set the tone.
It should not be. Like, I really think that Diablo 3 has gone nowhere but downhill. It has just gone downhill. Every patch has just made it worse. It's just been, like, if Diablo 3 on release had no bugs, it would have been an incredible game. However, there were a lot of bugs. There were so many fucking bugs, it was insane. The auction house? Yeah, I think I agree with you. I didn't like the real money part of it. Yeah, that was bad. But, like, I wanted an auction house in Diablo, or, like, a way to trade. I remember, like, people for, like, high value items, because 2 bill was the most that you could sell an item for high value items, you would sell them still on D2 JSP from back in the day.
How many other ARPGs set up their UI, inventory, gearing, and just gameplay patterns in general. And as for both of these, they still hold up well due to how much of the landscape of gaming has morphed around their image, as players have flocked back to try them again in their millions. And if you're a fan of the MMO or IRPG in any capacity, you've probably tried them at some point, not just the remakes but the originals. But for today, these games are not exceptional anymore, nor are they groundbreaking in what they deliver, nor should it be expected for a lasting legacy to be built around them once again. It's just a nice visit down memory lane, perhaps to see things again or other bits that you know you had missed the first time around. Of course, Blizzard really has to get Diablo 2 Resurrected right as well, which, considering the beta was missing a number of classes and the majority of the game...
God, Sylvanas used to be ugly as fuck. So, like, one thing I want to say is, like, I'll give you an example, is, like, StarCraft 1. There was a mission that I spent 4 hours on the mission, and I could not for the life of me figure out how to beat this mission. I was stuck on this mission for literally an entire year. For an entire year, I was stuck on this mission, and I was like 7 years old. Well, I was 9, and I realized, I'm like, we'll just build a bunch of battle cruisers, just fucking blow them up. I won the mission in 10 minutes. I won it in 10 minutes. That's all it took, man. That's all it fucking took. Yeah, I got old. I was a stupid kid, right? And I got a little bit older, and I'm like, man, you know, I could just do that instead. It'd be okay.
1 month before release, and the current track record of, well, this thing, the train wreck that was Warcraft 3 Reforged a while back, fingers aren't exactly crossed, but I'm hopeful the fans of the series will get something they'll be able to enjoy. Different developer though, so it's got to be better this time, right? Right? And for Blizzard, if you look back, they've redone World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo. They've re-released their arcade set of games, their words, such as Lost Vikings and Rock'n'Roll Racing, which were announced at BlizzCon 2021. Hearthstone and Overwatch have contained game modes emulating earlier versions. And if we look over Activision, Modern Warfare has been redone as well. Surely they're gonna run out of stuff to do again soon, right? Surely gaming is gonna run out of stuff to do soon enough, right? Are we going to see Fortnite Classic in 10 years from now? Or...
Yes, actually, I would love to see Fortnite Classic. Like, if you can give me the Fortnite that came out whenever Ninja was playing with Drake, I will go back and I'll play it. Like, give me Classic Fortnite and I'll play Classic Fortnite. I won't play it a lot. I'll just play it a few times, you know? It'd be cool. You know, as a little event.
Building was so much better back in my day. And the charm of nostalgia work just so strongly again and again and again. Well, in some cases, yes, it certainly can. You may think Blizzard has re-released a lot of their games, but oh man, You haven't seen
times has
anything
Skyrim come
when
out?
it comes to Bethesda's one-game wonder, Skyrim. Released 11/11/11. It's coming up to its 10-year birthday all too soon, and you'll never guess what. But Todd and the boys are re-releasing it. Again. They're probably going to sell millions. Again, they can't keep getting away with this. And you know what the anniversary...
Who keeps buying these? Like, I don't understand. Like, who buys Skyrim for the 11th time? Like, what is this, me? But why? What are you doing with your time? I don't understand it.
Edition has, including the base game, the special edition, the DLCs, fishing. Yep, fishing. There has to be a dozen mods out there which do this for free, but what the hell, let's chuck a few more dollars at Todd, shall we? Counting all possible releases, if we're including ports that is, it's well over 10, including Bethesda literally doing a meme release and putting Skyrim on Alexa. No, really, voice-activated Skyrim, it's a thing. Trust me, people, I couldn't make this up. And that's pretty damn impressive for a decade-old game to be going this strong. A single-player one at that. Unique, almost. And Elder Scrolls 6 will follow up 1 year later too. We'll see if that lasts just as long. Doesn't exactly put much of a fire under the developer to make something new which adds to the series, innovates, or makes improvements to complaints commonly found in the original game though. Maybe this is a good thing that the game can be propped up by its past while the dev works away on its future. So much extra time and effort can be put in at a time where it's all too common to see highly anticipated games rushed out to disastrous launches to appease suits and spreadsheets. Or maybe it's easy to justify outsourcing a previously successful title.
We got to see that one again, dude.
Rushed out to disastrous launches to appease suits and spreadsheets. Or maybe it's easy to justify outsourcing a previously successful title whilst you watch the dollars roll in, not feeling all too pushed to get the next big thing in the works.
See, like, I don't really give a fuck about bugs like that. I think they're funny and cute, you know? It's like, oh, look at it. Ooh, it's a little bit goofy and stupid, you know? It's completely fine, you know? Like, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter that much to me. Now, what really matters to me is if the game is bad. Like, if the game plays like shit. It's like in PUBG, right? Where you get behind a wall and you get shot. And like doesn't work with the way it does in CSGO, right? That's not supposed to happen. Like, like the jankiness can be endearing, but the game has to be good somewhere.
Because oftentimes when I see release or remaster, if I hadn't played it in the past, I'm just not really too interested, and I'd rather see the dev put their time into something new rather than trying to re-deliver the old again. Like when FromSoft finally remastered Dark Souls 1 so it's playable on PC. I'd already ended up trying it a few years ago back when the community had DS fix, because back then FromSoft said, nah, CBA, LOL, just get a console. I'm a lot more interested in Elden Ring, for example, than doing that thing again. The roast into the past, however, is a harder law to resist. And
this is the problem with Demon Souls. The reason why Demon Souls was really short-lived is because the Demon Souls PvP was just so fucking one-dimensional. There was like 5 or 6 good builds, and it didn't matter. Like, yeah, it was just so one-dimensional. John Souls, man. Like, yeah, exactly. I still remember that one time, that one fucking video. Like, I watched him every single night, where there was those 3 guys, and he was RP walking, and he takes the fucking sword, and he's just knocking them off the fucking pillars. Like, it was just so... Oh my god, it was so fucking amazing. Like, it was some of the best content I'd ever seen. I loved it. Yeah, it points down. Yeah, the whole fucking thing.
Started with, it's a surefire way to almost know for certain that something you're having to put, frankly, much less time and effort into redeveloping since a tremendous amount is done already. Like the story, enemy design ideas, track placements, level design, the musical score, which all have to be remastered, of course, but the base idea, the foundations are all laid for you. It's an easy plot to build a goldmine on. In fact, for a remaster or remake to not have a good degree of success is much more surprising than for it to do well. But developers redoing successes of the past will...
I love how, like, whenever he said that, I was like, well, what about Warcraft Reforged? That was the next fucking scene, man. The next fucking scene.
As far as the buyers, If it keeps printing monies for the devs, I don't see it becoming any less popular and for newer titles to take precedent. And you might find all of this a bit strange from a guy who plays a hell of a lot of classic WoW. The raids are why for me. That's the bit I missed back in the day. Fun. That's what I'm revisiting. In fact, I would prefer it if they took all this time and effort trying to get the new stuff as good as it can be it for retail's next expansion, or content for classic that doesn't purely just follow the blueprint of the original game, but aims to take it in a new direction within the spirit of it. Do I want to do TBC PvP? No thanks. Do I want to go and farm a Nether Drake when that comes out in 2022? Yeah, I think I'll pass. When you take a look across gaming as a whole, you realise how incredibly common it's become to re-release and remaster, as well as why that makes sense. And it's such a safe choice. It makes dollars. It feels to some extent the appeal of the old might be starting to wear just a little bit thin. It has been many years.
See, that's what we think, right? Because like we're like serious gamers, but the reality is like your casual dad of two who sees that they're re-releasing Super Mario World again, or they're re-releasing Skyrim again, and it reminds him of back whenever he played it in college with the boys. He's gonna buy it again, man. And that's the problem, is like you've got all these fucking casual gamer dads. They're just gonna buy it again. They're gonna, oh, let's buy it again. Oh my god.
Now since this has become a commonplace, maybe that's just me though. The thing is, I know what I like from the past, the developers know what players like from the past, but the future, the fresh, the new puzzles to solve, the new builds to figure out, the unknown, that's where the true intrigue will always lie. I don't think cashing out on the past is going anywhere anytime soon.
No, it's
either
not.
At the expense of the future, even though I would like to see it going that way. That's the video though. Let me know your thoughts and how you feel about remakes and remasters, and whether they do have any effect on anything new coming out potentially as well. As always guys, thank you so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one very soon.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are trying to hold Classic WoW back. I think Classic WoW can be a lot bigger than what it is, and it would be great if people got out of that mentality and they actually let the game become what it's meant to be, what it actually can be. What's the music? It's just like the Night Elf music from Vanilla WoW. That's about it. As Great Todd Howard said, if you want us to stop re-releasing Skyrim, then stop buying it. Exactly, yeah. It's the same thing as like there's a lot of people like, oh man, I hate whenever this guy streams this. And like everybody in the chat somehow hates whenever somebody streams something, but they're always there watching it. They're like, man, I hate whenever you stream this, dude. God, man, I've seen every single one. It's like, oh my God, like what is this? That's what they do. You glorify the past whenever the future dries up. True and real. I've never heard that quote before. I'm all for nostalgia, but it's too much of a crutch for companies nowadays. They're too afraid and lazy to innovate something new whenever there's an enormous audience of people that are content with reliving remastered content. Yeah, I think that if, like, for example, I had played, if they re-released Dark Souls, okay? Like, the Dark Souls is one of my favorite games. If they re-released original Dark Souls, would I play it if it had really good graphics? I hate to say it, but the answer is yes. I probably would. And they just did, yeah, Dark Souls remastered. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course I'd play it again. I would, but like if there were other games that were remastered, like WoW or something like that, or not WoW, like Mario World or Super Mario World, something like that, I probably wouldn't. So it just depends on which game it is. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I guess I'm a casual dad. All right, I'll look at a few things on Reddit that I do want to get started and actually play the game, do a little bit of that. Imagine that. Asmon Jack-O-Lantern Challenge. What is... Asmongold documentary. I'll see if I can find this here. The story of Asmongold, the one true king. All right, here we go, boys.
It's midday. There's some empty takeout cups in the frame, and Asmongold is live on Twitch.
Sup, y'all? It's me, It's your boy Asmongold.
He's giving his opinion on the news of the day, and chat is feeding into it.
Entertainment's a waste of time, Bill. Don't you know that? You've been wasting people's time for 30 fucking years. I'll move my cam up. What are you sitting here getting pissed off about because people are watching Twitch?
And after a brief detour into the wild world of Reddit,
Asmon Jack-O-Lantern Challenge. What is... That's such a... Like, why do they have to include that?
It's time to log into World of Warcraft.
That was the first time I was playing World First Hogger. Here we go. Yes, dude.
Or at least it used to be World of Warcraft.
Yeah, this is back in the old BF... Oh, wait, that's McConnell. Oh, wow. We were doing 2v2 together. That's so adorable. Aw, look at that. The classic WoW streams. Yeah, I did, like... It's weird. I did kind of look younger there, didn't I? I don't know why. You think it's the hair?
World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Nowadays,
it's definitely the hair.
King isn't just playing WoW. He's trying MMOs of all kinds.
Come on, kill him! Kill him! Come on! Come on, please! 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 Point one! This boss was fucking bad. I hated this boss.
He is single-handedly the biggest tastemaker in the genre because his
Chocobo
fans
Racing,
can
the true
count on him
in-game.
to always offer his unfiltered opinion, even if it's a negative one about their favorite game.
How is it that the game... Those are the best ones, right? Is whenever I have an opinion about something and everybody gets fucking pissed off about it. It happens about once a week or so. Yeah, you got out Microsoft Paint. Designers are unable to come up with better solutions than a bunch of angry neckbeards on a forum.
He hasn't
It's a good
quit
question.
WoW. If anything, WoW has kind of quit him.
Blizzard! Are you
Those are
kidding
the bots.
me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Look at all
Is
the
this
bots.
a joke?
But he's continued to grow in
yeah.
popularity, and he showed that he's more than just a WoW streamer. And as his fans come out in droves
Dungeons
for
and
whatever
Dragons,
game he's playing that day,
Fall Guys.
Asmongold isn't slowing down. And if you don't like that, well, it is what it is.
And people call me a cuck. True. And you know what? That's fine with me. I always say what I think. True. Asmongold. Wow. The story of Asmongold. This is pretty good. God damn.
Before he became the one true king of World of Warcraft, the streamer you now know as Asmongold made his living at the IRS and Sam's Club. Back then, and to this day, he resides in Austin, Texas, where he lives with and supports his mom. He went to school to get a business degree and was contemplating law school until he decided to focus on World of Warcraft. A friend...
What's so funny about this is it reminds me so much about how... Remember the documentary Mizkif did about me like 4 or 5 years ago? And the intro was almost the exact same? Oh my god.
Introduced him to the game when he was 16
that's
in
what I was
July
thinking of.
2006. And within a year, he convinced his mom to buy the first expansion, and pretty soon, he was hooked.
I didn't know what to expect. All I knew is that I was going to play all night and all day, as much as I could, as much as possible.
It didn't take long for the game to become his obsession,
Oh, it's
spending
during the
hours
beta.
grinding away and leveling with friends, on his own, or even with his mom.
And so my mom and I went together into the Burning Crusade.
I remember I made her heal me for this one.
And we did all the quests
Because I kept
together
dying.
at the very beginning. And we leveled up. And we got all that stuff done.
And in 2009,
Dude, that was such a good-
Asmongold
that was such a
uploaded
good
his
video.
first World of Warcraft video to YouTube, a 5-minute recording of a warrior soloing Hakar.
I want to make it very clear that on this video from fucking 13 years ago, I had DMX playing. This same song, Where the Hood At, that was on this video. And for a while, YouTube took the song down because of a copyright claim. And then eventually, like 3 or 4 years later, they let it go back up again. Yeah, I was straight up fucking, I was thugged out back then, man.
In glorious 480p. In the early days, like a lot of WoW
before the
creators,
AoE
his
cap.
channel was mostly game guides and how-tos, which he was motivated to do after finding that a lot of what was out there wasn't as informative as he would have liked.
I actually did that. Like, the reason why I put out my videos back in the day is I would watch the other guide videos people did, and I would look at their armories, and I would look at their logs, and I'd be like, this person is garbage at the game. They don't know anything about the game. Why are they making videos about a game they're shit at? And I'm like, well, I should make a video. I should make these videos and show these losers what they're doing. Because, like, back then, you guys got to keep in mind, I was, like, a rank 1 parser in WoW. Like, no joke. Like, you can look at my logs on warcraftlogs.com. I was a rank 1 parser on Warcraft logs. I was in the top 10 in the world for achievement points. And I was in some of the top RBG teams in, like, the whole fucking NA. So, like, I was super serious about this fucking game. And that's why I started making videos. Yeah, how to ninja loot, everything. Those are the good days.
It's your boy Asmongold, and today we're going to be talking about something big. I've wanted to make a video about this for a while.
Oh my god.
And I actually did, but it sucked, so we're redoing it. Hopefully it won't suck as much.
Some things
never
never
change.
change.
Achievements. Not how to get any specific achievement, but the mindset that it takes and the way you need to set your goals.
As his YouTube channels began to grow and started to see significant subscriber numbers, streaming became the obvious next step for Asmongold, and he set up his stream in 2014.
I moved over to making streaming my main platform. I feel like streaming in a lot of ways has a lot more growth potential than YouTube does in terms of like the ceiling.
At first, he struggled.
Fucking face. So the reason, you know why I started streaming originally? It's because WOD was so boring that there is literally nothing else to do. Like, I didn't know what to do, and I was like, I guess I'm just going to start streaming because there's nothing else to do in WoW. And yeah, I would use donation goals every single day. Look at the time right there.
5 billion
Look at the time on
total
the clock.
XP.
5:04. I wonder if that's AM or PM, guys. Yeah, I used to start stream at like 12 o'clock at night or like 3 a.m. And then I would just stream all night long into the morning. And it would be very regular for the sun to come up and for me to be like, all right, guys, another good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. And then I would fucking go to bed, sleep all day, wake up at night again, go to Taco Cabana before they close or Taco Bell or whatever, and I'd get my food and then I would start streaming. That's what it used to fucking be.
With finding a consistent schedule and building his audience.
Yeah. The Asmongold struggle right at the very fucking beginning of streaming, that was a grind. That was a fucking grind. I used to stream every single day. And I would never miss a single day of stream. And it was like one of those things where I was trying to think a lot about it, like, because, like, why is it that I like streaming a lot? I kind of like streaming on like my second channel a lot more in a way than like I do on my first channel, because I feel like I can be like way more relaxed and do whatever I want. And it's like, why don't I try to do a little bit more of that on my main channel, and that way I'll stream more on my main channel. And like that's why I kind of was saying that I wanted to tone things down a little bit so I could try to have like a little bit more of that, you know, that feeling of like wanting to log on, right? I should want to log on. Of streaming, that was a grind. That was a fucking grind.
Then he hit a roadblock when he got suspended on Twitch after making an offensive joke about Hurricane Katrina.
And this is, they actually have the clip of it. The funny thing about this is, like, yeah, back then I was so irrelevant, they didn't even have my name in there. Like, I was like, yeah, some fucking, like, random, like, World of Warcraft streamer in, like, 2017, like, yeah, nobody even knew. Yeah, I'll skip over it. Yeah, I made a joke about, like, and the funny thing about it is that, like, I made this joke, and at the time, like LSF was like, yeah, I could see why he got suspended for that. It is what it is. It's whatever. Right? But, like, people act like it's, like, a big deal. Like, whenever it happened, nobody really cared. Like, I didn't even really care. I was just like, okay, you know, I guess I'm going to have to get partnered so they're not going to ban me again. Well, that's about it. Show it. Why? So I get suspended again?
Became a partner. His following grew steadily as one of the only WoW streamers that was able to capture the audience's attention with his knowledge of lore, gameplay, raids, and his constant candid conversation.
Like, anybody that does, like, the chewing tobacco, like, how the f*** do you start doing that? Like, I understand, like, you Why do you bleep out fuck? Like, what is this? What kind of, what is this, was this made for Teletubbies? It's for YouTube? Man, I say fuck all the time in my videos. We're doing just fine. addicted to nicotine and then it is what it is. But how do you, like, what's the first time whenever you see somebody doing that and they spit out this disgusting brown glob that looks like microwaved cat shit, and you think to yourself, that's what I want to do. That's me.
From the beginning.
I don't understand that at all. Like, the chewing tobacco stuff is just, it's so disgusting, man. Like, I could never understand why somebody would go out of their way to begin doing it.
Asmongold has been unashamedly himself. He was the OG WoW nerd in his messy room.
Damn, I got $600
that the game for all the same reasons as his audience.
Yeah.
People fell in love with his streams because he was real and said the things that they were thinking. But sometimes that realness got him into trouble. There was
when going real goes wrong, or when being real goes wrong. I've had this happen a lot. The problem is that, like, I do always say what I think about stuff, and whenever I do that, obviously what I think sometimes makes people angry. And I mean, as I said, like, people want to get mad about that. Who gives a shit? Yeah, okay, boomer. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's never a subject too spicy, too normie, or too controversial for him to share his take on.
Whenever I say things like I don't care about girls having OnlyFans and stuff like that, I could very easily say the popular thing that people say. Yeah. I could very easily say, I think girls should be able to do it, but I wouldn't be comfortable with my girlfriend doing it. That is the popular thing to say, but I don't say that because it's not what I believe. And people call me a cuck. And you know what? That's fine with me.
In many ways.
Yeah, people got pissed off about that a lot. And to me, like, I never really gave a fuck about it in general. And so, yeah, that's an example, right? It's so, like, that's one of the things where some people feel that way and they're insecure about that. I'm personally not. It doesn't bother me. But for other people, it does. It's she's our girlfriend now. Well, sharing is caring, right? I care about you guys a lot.
Asmon blazed the trail for what is now the archetypical super streamer. He was able to pair chilling, eating, grinding solo content in game, and talking shit with the kind of constant social commentary we've now come to expect from the platform.
I hate to say, like social commentary, you're actually kind of right. Because back then, in like 2018, I was like one of the only people. Yeah, this is a great pause, right? I was one of the only people who would actually make comments about anything. Like, I would make comments about politics. I would talk about, like, fucking, like, oh, what do you think about people using, like a certain word? Or what do you think about, this other problem or whatever? Like, I would always make comments about shit like that. And I was one of the only people on Twitch that would do that then.
Asmon views himself as a personality streamer and believes that the gameplay is almost secondary to the commentary he provides.
Hope so.
That today is no ordinary stream. Today.
Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen,
this was a really good day.
Yeah. Will not open themselves.
He's been known to fire off an opinion with little thought, and as his platform has grown, so has his internet megaphone. The same.
I think a lot of people, I think about a lot of my opinions, actually. Like, that's the thing, is that a lot of times people will clip what I say kind of out of context or without like the full context behind it. And in the process of that, they will, not really understand what I'm saying. Or they'll just get mad about what I say. Yeah, they'll just get mad because that happens a lot.
Megaphone that's gotten him in trouble.
I had no problem talking about issues that I really felt like were bad. I called out the entire community whenever Alinity had that thing happen. That's true. And everybody was against me.
Recently, a tweet referencing the Sinatra sexual violence allegations landed him in hot water. And then there was his take that for sexual violence...
No, it didn't. Everybody agreed with me. Yeah, everybody agreed with me. Like, whenever I said, so fucking DeFran was like, went on this fucking, like, crusade to defend Sinatra. And I'm like, yeah, it's a noble perspective to want to say, like, people should be innocent, before proven guilty. I think like, what I said, everybody fucking agreed with, except for like 3 psychos.
Allegations landed him in hot water. And then there was his take that Shadowlands prequel novel writer Madeleine Roux had engaged in reverse racism in a series of tweets, as well as his refusal to stop using an ableist slur that was a big point of contention.
She didn't fucking engage in reverse racism. She just engaged in racism. She made a bunch of racist tweets. If you replace white with black, she'd be banned and fired. And everybody knows it. It's disgusting that they hired this person and the person's still on the team. The only reason that other Blizzard developers and Blizzard employees were defending her is tribalism. Anybody could see this is bullshit. It's disgusting.
Novel writer Madeline Rue had engaged in reverse racism in a series of tweets, as well as his refusal to stop using an ableist slur that was a big point of contention online.
I think people got pissed off about saying the word retarded, and I think that the people that get mad about it are just fucking stupid. And I'm gonna keep saying it until they tell me that I can't. If I say it, they'll ban me, right? Now, obviously, if I can't say it, I won't say it. But until then, I'm gonna keep saying it because I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and I think the people that are getting mad about it are just stupid.
But most of all, Asmongold is known best for his critical views on Blizzard overall and the specific gameplay and lore gaps in World of Warcraft. Asmongold has always loved the game.
Yeah.
He's given most of his adult life to it. But as more expansions have been released, it seemed like it was getting harder and harder to keep loving. When Warlords of Draenor seemed like...
The funny thing about this is, like, I actually was having a lot of fun right there. But, like, you know what I'm doing, right? Is I'm literally watching somebody fucking die to shit that they're not supposed to die to. So, like, I was having fun here. Like, we were doing Herald of the Titans. Yeah, it was awful.
It was getting harder and harder to keep loving.
It was like a
when Warlords of Draenor got released, Asmongold felt that Blizzard was creating a barrier for any new players looking to play. He felt that the expansion was going out of its way to remove ways to make friends in-game.
Now I can do 100 battlegrounds, and I can be top damage, and I can just never die, and it can be super awesome, and I can just kick ass, but I will never have as much fun as I did, you know, killing the Yeti with my friends, you know, hanging out, having fun. And I think that the game has streamlined so many different aspects that it's hard to really make those connections.
His vocal opinions led to a...
You know what the word is, right? I mean, like, everybody knows what the fucking word is here. Everybody fucking knows it. And it's just so ridiculous. Following since what? Yeah, I've been making videos since, like, late Mists of Pandaria. And I made videos back in Burning Crusade too, but like I didn't really start uploading until Mists of Pandaria with my main channel, my new channel. And yeah, he's gonna cock me today. Well, I think that's basically the same thing, isn't it?
Complicated relationship with Blizzard, with very public and heated clashes.
Yeah. Who do you think contributes more to the toxicity in the game?
Asmongold versus Blizzard.
Do you think it is the person who streams the game? Or the person who literally makes the systems in the game? Have I been toxic in the past? Absolutely. Yeah. Have I done some things that are toxic? Absolutely. True. I take no, I don't hide from that. In fact, I talk about it regularly. See, I think my beard looks way better whenever it's shaved shorter. Everybody was saying it looked better whenever it was longer. I don't think so, man. I think it looks better whenever it's shorter. It looks cleaner? Yeah. Like, I think it looks way fucking better now. It's who I was. And in a way, it's still who I am. I don't pretend. However, do you want to know what real pretending seems like? It seems like taking /spit out of the game while you let people say the N-word. You don't care about harassment. You don't care about toxicity. You care about protecting the feelings of your whales.
At BlizzCon...
So the funny thing about that is they actually now have taken it out of all of the game. They've removed /spit out of the entire game. So this right here is like, I'll
in
explain this quick
2018,
here.
Asmongold was told he could not be in another player.
So right here, you have the gentleman here is obviously me. There's Greek God X. And there's Pink Sparkles. That was the day that I met Izzy right there at BlizzCon. And there's XQC. And Greek and XQC were live streaming BlizzCon. And they saw me and we were hanging out, man. It was like, it's kind of cool to go back. Like, it was like, dude, it was like 3 years ago, man. Yeah, it was, those are the good days, man. Those are the good fucking days.
Stream and was asked to leave the stage.
Yeah, it was. I went to stream with Esfond. This is this was that year.
They told me that I couldn't be on camera with him, and like as soon as I walked up there, they were like, there was like 3 fucking dudes, or there was one guy that was like really mad, and he was like this. I couldn't hear what he was saying, right? But he wasn't fucking happy about it. And they came up there and they told me I had to leave. So yeah, so they so there was the previous year. There's a like 2017. Whenever I went to BlizzCon, they let me go up on stage and not up on. Oh, they did that too. But like they let me go on other people's streams and it was totally fine. And then the next year, I tried to go up there with like S-Fan on his stream. And as soon as I did, they went up there and they told me I had to leave. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why? Do you think I'm just gonna like say the N-word? Like, what do you think I'm gonna do? Like, am I gonna threaten the president on the stream at BlizzCon? Like, yeah, what do you expect that's gonna happen? Just shut up, calm down. Yeah, like Blizzard is, they have, oh my God. Might say the R word? Back then, I didn't really think they cared about it that much. Well, I remember there was this one time they brought, there are four people here. I'm just going to tell the story. There are 4 people here that were brought by Blizzard, and Blizzard wanted to have a talk with us in person. And it was 2 guys from Blizzard, and it was me, and Nick, and Chance, Soda Poppin'. And one of the guys from Blizzard said this. He said, "You used to be the bad one," pointing at Soda Poppin'. "But now," and he points at me, "now you're the bad one." And I'm like, hey, it is what it is. And so it was like, I do want to say though, like ever since then, like obviously I've had like my own, I've had my own kind of like weird dealings with Blizzard, and there have been like Blizzard employees mad at me, etc. But I think I have a relatively good relationship with them. Like it's not, okay, no, it's not as bad as you'd think. Okay, I think that's a better way for me to say it. It's not actually as bad as you'd think it is. Oh, I don't know, I didn't like that at all.
And things have only gotten worse in recent years during Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands.
I feel like a lot of the Blizzard developers genuinely do not play World of Warcraft.
This is not a very good example of that.
And I think that's evidenced by the amount of changes that the developers add into the game. They're either changes that have been asked for by the highest degree of PvP players or PvE players, because those are the people who have the ear of the developers, or on the other side, changes that are just completely antithetical to what an MMO is supposed to be.
The mounting issues with the game have been tough for Asmon to cope with. More and more, it felt less
I really appreciate them doing that, talking about issues of the game whenever I lose in PvP, because it had nothing to do with my skill at all. Like, it was totally because of the game, and the game is just fucking garbage. I think over the time, I did become, like, much more disillusioned with the game. This is true, 100%.
The game he grew up on.
I've only really ever cared about this game.
True.
I don't see it getting better. It's just somehow getting worse every single time.
Somehow.
I'm just tired of it.
The state of California filing a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard really brought everything into perspective for Asmon, making it hard to want to stream WoW or even play music from the game while streaming.
Really affected me. It's bothered me, to be honest. I feel like as a, almost 25 years now, I've played Blizzard games. I started in Warcraft 2. And to read this, you feel betrayed. You feel like those moments and those experiences that you've had now are under the context of these things happening at the expense of other people, and they feel less pure and less real and less just good.
Very true.
And it makes the memories tainted, and it makes the experience tainted as well.
In recent years, retail WoW has tended to flounder. But for years, many community figures...
This was the Soda Poppin' video he made right after they shut down Nostalrius. I remember this very well. I remember watching it.
...have pushed for a WoW Classic server to let them relive their early WoW glory days. And Asmongold was one of the biggest voices leading that charge. And though Blizzard fought back...
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Eventually, the scene got what they wanted, a vanilla server, and Asmongold's stream popped off.
Well, I'm in. I quick. This is it, boys. This is f***ing it, man. All right, let's go. I welcome you all to the very beginning.
It was Olympus. That's whenever we were making Olympus. Oh my god. Wow. That's so crazy. Dude, the classic WoW days were actually, like, it's a straight up fucking meme, right? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Classic WoW was so fun, and it was also so shitty. It was so bad in so many ways, and there were other, like, Phase 1 was good. Yeah, you're right, Phase 1 was genuinely good, or generally good, but Phase 2 is where things kind of just went, they went downhill. This is an amazing clown fiesta.
Beginning of our glorious guild. The guild is called Olympus, because we are literal gods.
Day 1 of streaming Classic WoW, Asmongold hit 263,720
Nah, it was more than that. It was more than that. Like, that's fucking fake. It was like 290. Like, this is a fake fucking video. Like, nah, it was way more, dude. It was way fucking more. 290. Yeah, it was fucking 280, 290K. And it doesn't matter either way because Joker still got fucking more than me whenever he hit 60. So still, I mean, who gives a shit? But overall, like, I think that my stream had, like, a number of, like, different pop-offs where, like, I remember in, like, BFA, you know what the first pop-off for my stream was? Getting suspended. Getting suspended on Twitch was my first pop-off. Because I got suspended, and I was getting, like, 2,000 viewers. I come back, and, like, I was getting, like, 5,000 or 6,000 viewers. Just overnight. Like, twice as many people were watching me. They're like, wow, this guy got suspended. He's an asshole. Let's see what this guy's all about. And then after that, you know, things just kind of gradually went up. And then BFA came out. BFA, like the beta or like the pre-BFA stuff came out. And then my stream went from like getting like, you know, 8,000 viewers to getting like 20 or 30,000 viewers really fucking fast. Like, I'm talking about in like 2 months. And then I was there for a while, and the Dark Souls came out. Then I was getting like 30, 40,000 viewers, and then it went down, went up and down, right? And then I think Classic WoW was like whenever I really started hitting like numbers like I'm hitting now, right? It was a lot.
At one time, it was like the release was made for him.
You do not fight with honor, Bargoth. But hey, at least you fight to the death.
Over the years, Asmongold has seen streamers come and go, and he's always been thankful for the level of success he has achieved. But success hasn't really changed him. He's still the same dude, sitting in a messy room with the lights off, talking about games. Asmongold has found that living simply and being able to support his mom is what makes him happiest.
I live the most extravagant, great life I could possibly ever imagine. I'm surrounded by my friends that I spend time with daily. I have a great thing that I do with my streams and my videos. I consider myself incredibly lucky, and I'm very passionate about that in many ways.
And he doesn't just spend his money on his family. In October 2020, one of his goals became a reality when he decided to put his business degree to use and create One True King, a content organization he put together with some of his regular streaming buddies. And
I still can't believe we did this, man. I still can't believe this shit happened. Like, you know, like, to think about it, because I remember, so like I was gonna get recruited. I was gonna go to another org, and they were like, yeah, we want to do this. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna make my own org. Fuck this. And like, that's literally what happened. It was like 2 years ago. Somebody wanted to invite me into an org. I said, fuck that. Like, I'm going to join my own goddamn org. I'm going to do what I want. Ascetians? No, bro. Like, well, actually, yeah, the Ascetians are really powerful. Yeah, it's great. I'm glad to be the Ascetians. Just fucking Illuminati. Yeah, I'll make my own org.
I announced
with hookers and blackjack.
OTK, One True King, with
hookers and
Rich
blackjack
Campbell, Tips Out, S-Band, and Mizkif.
Yeah.
I still cannot even believe that it's happened. I can't believe the amount of feedback and great support that we've gotten.
It quickly became one of the biggest streaming orgs with over 25 million hours watched. And OTK wasn't the only change in the past year. Through OTK, Asmon has been doing more on his streams, like playing Fall Guys and having a Dungeons and Dragons campaign with his fellow streamers. Recently, he's shifted focus from WoW to Final Fantasy XIV, a big change for someone who has almost exclusively been interested in playing WoW for the last 15 years.
It's kind of weird how things change like that, you know, with like going and playing Final Fantasy. You started Final Fantasy off as a meme though? No, it wasn't really a meme. I just thought about playing the game. Like, I'll try the game out, see how it is. It went well, and so I just keep playing it.
Playing WoW. I really enjoy WoW as well. But it's been great to be able to play something different and to have a different perspective on the game. I'm just having a good time. I'm enjoying myself. It's fun. I'm playing the game off screen and just trying to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I miss that a lot.
Yes! Yes! Come on! Come on! Get him! Kill him! Kill him! Yes! I like how I had to yell at them instead of actually taking the rest.
Asmongold continues to be the MMO everyman. Even if he isn't focusing on World of Warcraft right now, he's still bringing his expertise and opinions to Final Fantasy XIV.
The social structures in the game are a little bit off-putting. Some of the ways that people are very pushy and evangelize their game is a little bit off-putting as well. However, I do really just want to play a good game.
Though he's playing a new game, you can bet...
Listen, I know a lot about games, all right? I know a lot about these MMOs. I understand a lot about the games that I've played, all right? Yes, obviously I'm just a mere player. I don't really know. There's nothing... I'm not special, right? It's just that I play a lot of games like this, and I remember a lot of things, so it's easy for me to put things together. Yeah, PhD in MMOs, exactly.
You'll always be able to find Asmon doing what he's always done. Sitting in a dark, messy room, raiding, questing, and hanging out on stream.
Alright, ready? Here we go. Holy shit! That was the first time I won. Holy shit! Are you kidding me, dude? Yeah. Are you kidding me, dude? Oh my god! Yeah. Oh my fucking god, dude! What a day!
There may have been a time when World of Warcraft was the main event, and Asmongold was the vessel. There have been a time...
That's crazy how, like, fucking back then, like, we were actually on the Blizzard stage. I don't even know how this happened, but, Blizzard let us do Allcraft at BlizzCon. That was nuts.
When World of Warcraft was the main event, and Asmongold was the vessel that was carrying one of the most beloved games of all time to its loyal following. But that time has come and gone. The one true king has outgrown any one game.
A lot of people watch me for WoW, etc. But if I play another game, I still have a large audience of people who like seeing that too. And I think that's awesome, and I really appreciate that. That's so fucking amazing. I feel so lucky for that, honestly.
He's the voice for MMO players, grinders, trolls, Twitch OGs, and React Andies everywhere. A true Twitch tastemaker.
I feel like I'm not really a Twitch OG. Like, as I said, I only really started streaming in, like, 2016, right? I mean, there's plenty of people who've been streaming years before I did. I feel like I'm kind of, like, just, you know, I'm kind of just like a guy. Yeah, 2016 is not OG. But, yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm definitely a fucking... You know, a beacon of light to all of the other React Andies. Absolutely. I've got that.
There's no telling where he'll go next.
I've enjoyed myself a lot, and I look forward to doing a lot more. So until next time, boys. Peace.
There it is.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find...
That's actually a good video. I like it overall. I mean, like, it was... I'll link the video. What makes Asmon so great is he comes across as so genuine. So many streamers seem like they put out a veneer of commercial acceptability. With Asmon, what you see is what you get. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, that's the fucking problem, is that I do pretty much say what I think. And I do... Like, this is actually my room in my mother's house that I sit in all day, and it's real, guys. It's all real. And so, yeah, that's about it. I mean, I never really felt like... It's like there's a lot of people who, they go out of their way and they try really hard to pretend to be somebody they're not. And it's like, if I was gonna do that, I might as well just get a real job. Like, that's... If I'm gonna spend all day cucking for a company, you might as well just get a real job at that point. Fuck that. When I has my mobile, it's a green screen, it's a garage with 30 Lambos. I do need to buy a new car, man. Like, I'm thinking about getting a new one pretty soon. So I got it right now. I've got a 2001 Mustang. It's a car I learned to drive in fucking 15 years ago, back in the Stone Age. And I felt like I've had to, like, the car's not been doing too good. And I need to probably get it serviced. That's probably what it is, because I haven't done that in like 3 years. But anyway, like, I've had to turn off the air conditioning whenever I'm driving up a hill, because I hear it and it's going... I'm like, oh man, I feel bad for the car. And so I turn off the air conditioning. So it's just, I probably will get a new car. I'm thinking about getting like a 2003 Mustang. Maybe a 2003, 2004. Like, I don't want to get an expensive car. Like, everybody says, like, oh, buy a Tesla, buy something like that. Like, I don't want to buy an expensive car. Because here's the reason why I don't want to do it, all right? It's very simple. Is because... if you have an expensive car, you have to think about that car. Like, you have to think, like, oh man, I hope nobody breaks into my car. Oh man, I hope nobody, scratches my car. Oh man, I hope nobody... I remember this drunk bitch pulled out and backed up into my car. This is my old car. And she hit it and she crunched the door. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Fuck off. And I didn't care because the door still opened. And imagine the freedom that gives me. The freedom that gives me. Just fuck off. And I was on with my life. The door worked just fine. It just fucking dented the metal. So there's freedom in not having a nice car. Because if the piece of shit breaks, fuck it, get another one. That's what's good about it. I don't want to have a car that I'm stressed out about whenever it's not working. Oh, this repair is going to be $2,000. Man, my car, if there's something wrong with it, like, it's probably going to be like a few $100, that's it. Which means that it's probably total at that point, let's be honest. All right, let's go look over here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Willie here. A lot of people
love
the Wrath of the Lich King. In fact, it's looked back upon now as the absolute peak of World of Warcraft, and factually, at least subscriber-wise from the information Blizzard gave us, it was. For myself, however, I'm often asked what was my favourite expansion or favourite period in World of Warcraft's history.
Burning Crusade.
I don't think there's any entire expansion which stands clearly head and shoulders above the rest. In fact, I struggle to say that I like one in its entirety from start to finish. For example, in Wrath, I can already tell you when it happens in our classic timeline that revamped Naxxramas 25 and 10 man is going to be a bit of a shocker. The value in it back in the day was because barely anybody saw the place fully through. In actual vanilla. Nowadays, quite a significant...
Well, I think a lot of people, it was a shocker for even 40 Nax, because people went into 40 Nax and they thought it was going to be like this massive, huge, super hard thing. And yeah, there were some guilds that struggled on it, but overall, it really wasn't as hard as it used to be.
Portion of the population did, to some extent at least. So
when we go back in there and
it's been greatly nerfed, we're going to be left with Sartharian's Lair and the Eye of Eternity, which are quite similar to Gruul and Mag in two pretty fast to wrap up raids, with not too much difficulty there. And then we have Trial of the Crusader, of course, which is when Blizzard made the most optimal way to play your character to complete the raid on 4 separate difficulties each week. So unless they change things there, we have that to look forward to. If I were to try and pick some of my favourite times from World of Warcraft, the first tier of Cataclysm and the Heroic Dungeons then were absolutely incredible. I love the Nighthold and the Suramar story, progressing through all of that. And I even liked Siege of Orgrimmar, the Timeless Isle release initially when I was playing my Resto Druid then. Well, I liked it before it went on for over a year, that is.
I'm going to give my thoughts on this before the video comes out. I want to go ahead and explain. Like, I think Wrath of the Lich King in like a vacuum was pretty good. But overall, I think Wrath of the Lich King set the stage for so many things that made the game worse. Like, just over time, Wrath made the game way, way worse.
King, the final in the big three of the classic expansions, the peak of World of Warcraft sub-count as it gradually rose over the 10 million mark, and as we make our way through our classic timeline, it is to this day one of the most fondly looked back upon times in WoW's history.
Was great.
A perfect storm of different themes within the game coming together, following up the end of the Warcraft 3 story for the RTS fans.
I think also another reason why people like Wrath is like Wrath was probably the first time that a lot of people really got the opportunity to really be good at the game. Because like Wrath was whenever a lot of people who were young that started playing the game got old enough to like really fully process and understand how to fucking play it the right way. And they got enough free time to be able to raid and take it seriously. So like Wrath had like all of these like external reasons of why it was a good expansion. Which I don't know. As I said, like, Wrath of the Lich King Classic WoW is just not, in my opinion, it's not going to be as good as it was. Like, I feel like Wrath is going to die in, like, a week and a half.
New hero class in the Death Knight, the first new addition
it'll die, like,
to the
way
game.
faster than TBC.
Evolutions of classes to make them much more well-rounded, new PvP content, and some of the most memorable raids, and some of the least, looking at you, Ruby Sanctum, World of Warcraft has ever seen.
Yeah.
If you never played back then, as somebody who did myself, it was pretty good overall, I'd say.
The thing with Ruby Sanctum, though, Ruby Sanctum wasn't that bad because they put in Ruby Sanctum as just something else for players to do. Like, they basically just threw it in there randomly because the Cataclysm was taking so long. Because, like, Wrath of the Lich King was the first time that, because of all the catch-up mechanisms and everything that were in the game, there were so many people who were sitting and farming ICC all day, and they were just bored of it. And Blizzard had never really had that happen before. Because in Burning Crusade, most of the people that had quit the game had quit because they just got bored of the game, they didn't like the game, not because they ran out of raiding content or content to progress their character with. Because you had to do, like, you know, like Karazhan, Gruul, like SSC, TK, Black Temple, Sunwell, right? And you had a lot of things you had to do. But in Wrath of the Lich King, all you really had to do at the end of it was level up, do some dungeons, do TOC a few times, and you get right into ICC. It was super fucking fast. And because of that, people hit that wall so fast and they got bored of it.
A lot of things right that the player base really responded well to. It's no surprise that it was the peak. It also did a lot of things which are now very much looked down upon, which seemingly are often very casually looked over, so not to tarnish the perfect memory.
Exactly.
The rose tint is in real effect
Yep.
here. You've seen how people have approached the Radiant Classic, right? And in TBC so far. And I was a little curious as to how the raid content would shape up. Having never raided in actual vanilla or the majority of TBC, we always heard that the game was hard back then, and then we got to MC and it was beaten within the first week from level 1, and then you'd hear Veilstraz in Blackwood, that was the next big wall, and it was beaten within all of 30 seconds, then wait for AQ, that fell over. Wait for Nax, it was beaten day 1 within 1 hour and 20 minutes, I believe. Maybe I'll do a video looking a bit more into this, but I did actually...
Yeah, I remember, like, this was one of the funniest things in Classic WoW, is watching the Classic Andes slowly have to walk back all of the positions that they had. They're like, oh, well, you know, Classic WoW, I mean, dude, you couldn't even get to 60 unless you were really good at the game. Like, only the most dedicated and strongest survive in Classic WoW, and then immediately everybody got 60. And then, Molten Core, that's whenever you really got tested because you needed all this fire resist, and you had to, like, farm with your guild, and there was, like, this thing that you had to mind control in Blackrock Spire. Then you had to put that on your tanks, and if you didn't do that, you just died because it did so much damage. And then obviously people just went in there and fucking destroyed it. And then, oh, well, yeah, of course they did. It was undertuned. But whenever BWL comes out, you'll see Veil, guilds are going to wipe on Veil for months because they don't have the gear for it. And then people are just one-shotting Veil. And just killing Veil was one of the easiest bosses. People would use Veil for the buff. It wasn't even a boss. It was like, oh, this is the boss that we charge up our buff so we can clear the real boss, which is the trash packs after Veil.
And then after that, they're like, oh, well, that was easy because, you know, it wasn't balanced the right way. They had too many debuffs on the boss. Whenever AQ comes out, it's going to be totally fucking different. You'll see. And then AQ comes out, people fucking destroy it. And Visitus was kind of hard because people didn't know how to use, like, the little venom sacs to cleanse themselves. And then they're like, see, I told you it's hard. You wiped once on it. I told you it's fucking hard. You wiped. And this is how they looked at it. And then finally, Naxxramas came out, and this was the one thing that everybody was like, all right. So Nax was like the fucking gold standard that everybody thought was this fucking impossible, like you could not beat this raid. And people went in and they were clearing it on the first week. Like all of these guilds were clearing it on the first week, and they're like, oh well, Blizzard, listen, Blizzard is too easy, but it was way harder back then. They didn't tune it right. And there were all of these excuses every time. No, sorry, Asmon, you're really wrong here. I mean, the numbers agree with me. I'm sorry to say, but I believe that I have the numbers on my side.
Raid in Wrath of the Lich King, though, the whole way through. I never completed all the content on the hardest difficulty possible, but I felt as though I saw it, and how they actually roll out the raids is going to be really interesting to see as well, because something changed with the format of raiding in each separate tier of Wrath. In fact, thinking about it, I am looking forward to Wrath a bit less than I was initially, because I have raided fully through the entire expansion. But back on track, Wrath of the Lich King, for all the good that it did...
That's one of the things that I feel about Wrath, is like, I already beat Wrath of the Lich King. Like, I beat Heroic Lich King back in the day. The only thing I didn't do, I did on 10 man. I didn't do it on 25 man. That's just because we didn't have enough people. Like, I beat, like, Yogg 0. I got Herald of the Titans. There's, like, a few little challenges that I'd want to do. Like, getting, like, Argent Defender. Doing, like, Tribute of Immortality. That would be cool. But other than that, I mean, it's not really... Show achieve date? No, I got Yogg 0 during ICC. I didn't get it during Old War, but I did get it. I mean, still, and Death's Demise. It's just I don't know, man. I just like Wrath doesn't have like I guess it's like I was most hyped for Classic WoW raiding because like I had never really done all of Classic WoW raiding. I had only done like some ZG and 20-man raids, and for Burning Crusade, I'm hyped up for Burning Crusade still. I like raiding in Burning Crusade way more than I did in Classic, 100%. However, I already did a lot of the Burning Crusade raids before. I'm looking at the Burning Crusade Classic, like this is my victory lap. This is what I'm doing. Like I'm going back into I'm going back into high school and I'm just styling on all my old teachers. I'm walking in there wearing my hat sideways like they always used to tell me not to. And I'm sitting there listening to my music. I'm on my phone. And like, I'm going in there and I'm like, I own this place now. Like this is, bro, I'm beyond this. That's the way I feel like going back and playing Burning Crusade Classic.
It brought in some real controversial stuff under the hood. We had dual spec, which is now being widely asked for actually in TBC to ease up access to get into heroics or to flip between PvP and PvE. Back in Wrath, it was added in the first major content patch, cost 1,000 gold, and you needed to be level 40. Different from how things are in TBC, where when you change spec, you need to change around your bars, your gear, your talents. In Wrath, you also had to change your glyphs. And glyphs were a pretty huge deal for your power levels, different from retail today, where they've just turned into cosmetic things. And prior to dual spec, you had to carry around glyphs in your bag so that you could redo them whenever you needed to if you were trying to push the performance of your character.
I think that glyphs kind of sucked. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I thought they kind of sucked. But like, I mean, they were cool in a way because they were ways that you could augment your spells. Like they were cool in practice. But what it really came down to was you just had your 3 main glyphs that you use for raiding, and you just put those on, and that was it. I remember, like, there was one warrior in my guild, there was a Heroic Strike glyph that would, like, give you rage back whenever you did something with Heroic Strike. I forgot what it was. And as soon as I put that glyph on, I did, like, 500 more DPS. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not taking this off now. Okay, that was it.
She was introduced to allow players to teleport directly from anywhere in the world to a dungeon cross server. And it did get pretty toxic on release, since on one hand you were having the more casual player base who either didn't do dungeons or who put the word heroic up to a dungeon which was going to be really difficult, like it was in heroic raiding. And then you had the more hardcore scene of players who may be leveling an alt or re-rolling or just trying to get some badges for their daily, something like that.
Well, the thing is also, like, the heroics in Wrath of the Lich King weren't as hard as the heroics in Burning Crusade. Like, there were a few of them, like, the Azrael and the Rube was actually pretty hard whenever it came out, but most of them were pretty fucking easy. And also, another reason why they were easy is that people just got better gear way faster.
And content, and there's a bit of clashing between the two different playstyles there. We had heirlooms to speed up leveling as well. We had paid faction transfers towards the end of Wrath of the Lich King as well.
Mistake.
I wonder if that'll be in from the start of Wrath.
That was a huge
The dungeons
mistake.
and heroic dungeons were just a lot easier, way up to the end of the Pit of Siren, Forge of Souls.
I think they should have never added faction transfers. They should, like, adding in faction transfers was probably the dumbest thing that Blizzard has ever put in the store besides the WoW token. Because, like, why? Because at that point, I think it took away a lot of character identity. Because, like, up until then, like, you playing on Horde or Alliance really kind of was meaningful. And then just taking that away, it's like, oh, you just pay money and then you swap to the other one. It made it mean a lot less. But that's, like, kind of an RP thing, so that's whatever. But the truth is, like, the reason why it was so bad is it made it to where serious guilds would transfer and they would play at that time. They would want to play with the best racials. And this became a really big problem in Cataclysm. Because I remember it was like Heroic Cho'Gall had like this one mechanic where you would just like be able to AoE interrupt it. And if everybody was stacked up, and it was so fucking easy on Horde because you had like the Blood Elf Silence and the War Stomp for Tauren. And before that, people had to just figure it out. And yeah, that's why Blizzard added it. It was more money. Yeah, but like now what they're having is like Alliance is pretty much dead, which sucks.
Pause a reflection in the ICC patch. If you wanted hard PvE content though, the raids did end up making up for it big time. There was essentially a gear reset in each patch with a new set of badges being brought out, which any player could work towards very powerful gear from. And achievements were brought out, which in some way gave birth to the Link X achievement if you want to have done something. You know the story, how do you get into a raid? Oh, you need the achievement, but how do you get the achievement? You need to have done the raid. And also from that to some degree as well of the badges giving anybody really good access.
I don't think that was that big of a problem because like, what was it in Classic WoW? Like, how did you get invited into raids in Classic WoW? You rolled a healer, you bought gear, you had pre-best gear score. Yeah, I feel like it was kind of all the same stuff, right? I mean, you would just go to Stormwind and they would invite you and you would either join or not based off of if they thought you were good. A guild, yeah, you just show up. I don't think that you could sneak in easily because it's 40-man raid. But like, is that good though? That like the raids were so easy that people could just clear them? So you would just get invited even if you were bad and you could just get carried through. Like, I don't think that's really good design. Like, I think that's like kind of, that's bad design too. Like even in Burning Crusade now, what I know that people do is they still gear check you. Like, so gear score and getting gear checked for me are pretty much the same fucking thing. Because most people don't understand what they're looking for, and they'll think somebody who has like a shitty trinket is actually just having a shitty trinket, but it's actually very good for their class or something like that.
It's a really good gear. Came the gear score add-on.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, the more
I had 6.1k gear score
item that people are wearing, the better player they are. Were some of these
better
culprits
person
behind the slowing of the growth of
better
World of
person.
Warcraft, or were they the ones keeping it afloat? Over 10 million subs for, well, anything is kind of insane. And World of Warcraft was by no means on a downwards trend moving into Cataclysm, but it also just kind of stopped growing during that first patch. Wrath of the Lich King was very much the peak and the plateau. So what other negatives were there?
There's nothing for people to look forward to, that's why. There's nothing else really for people to do. 6.6k? Bro, you probably had Shadowmourne if you had 6.6k. I remember Shadowmourne added like 500 onto your score. And I would actually take extra items just so whenever I would whisper somebody for an invite, I would take like a heroic ICC item just so I could equip it to my character to get into the raid. It was so fucking stupid, man. Like the gear score add-on was just so dumb. And like you do that now, right? With keeping things with high eye level. You even still do that now in WoW because like they've made eye level matter so much. That's one of the good things about Classic WoW, I think. and even Burning Crusade to a lesser extent, that you had so many items from like the previous raid tiers that were good throughout the expansion or throughout like multiple raid tiers. Like I thought that was cool. Like Onslaught Girdle, things like that.
Well, it started to erode away the social aspects of the game more and more with the likes of the LFD for dungeons and heirlooms, which allow players to easily zoom through solo or group content without too much interaction between players. It was the first time that content started to become irrelevant during the same expansion. We didn't have any achievements anymore, and badge gear created an easy path to re-roll or revisit the game during each separate major content patch.
There was a real cop.
Quite the plague in the retail version of the game, where it almost feels seasonal to play during a patch instead of a continuous thing. Your class started to offer less on an individual basis.
No, that's absolutely what it was. The game did, over time, it became less and less. It became less and less of a expansion game, and it became more and more of a patch game. And this happened in Wrath of the Lich King for the first time. And the real fucking turning point was Trial of the Crusader, and I hope he talks about this. In Trial of the Crusader, that's whenever you were able to get better gear in 5-mans than you could get in Nax Ramas. So it just completely put Nax in the garbage. There was no reason to ever do Nax other than to get like maybe a couple of cool trinkets or just for the achievements or something like that. It was so fucking bad. Then after that, you had, what do you call it? You had like ICC come out, and then the 5-man dungeons from there invalidated all of Ulduar. So you didn't even need to do that. And then Cataclysm comes out. By the time Dragon Soul was out, you never needed to do the tier 11 dungeons. And then you guys know what happened to Mists of Pandaria and onwards from there. So this became a bigger issue over time.
Gone were the days, as we've seen in TBC, where you need X, Y, Z class to provide A, B, C, DOF, and optimize your raid. Now, several different roles could provide like-for-like buffs or debuffs. You didn't just need a Shadow Priest and only ever a Shadow Priest for mana regen anymore. A Retribution could provide a similar buff, or a Frost Mage at a push. And for the entire raid, no less. On top of this, mana starts...
I think this was an improvement, personally. The Burning Crusade buffs are really cool, but I find them to be kind of restrictive in a way. And it's like... I would say like the best buff meta is like in between Burning Crusade and Wrath. Like a little bit more homogenized than Burning Crusade, but a little bit less homogenized than Wrath. Like somewhere in the middle there, that's where I thought things were the best.
To matter less and less for healers. And one final point which I just can't ignore is somebody at Blizzard really liked mounted combat. More than any player has ever liked it. It was absolutely everywhere in Wrath of the Lich King. Strand of the Ancients, Flame Leviathan, Eye of Eternity, the Oculus, questing. So why on earth was this expansion?
It was a cool idea, okay? Mounted combat was a really cool idea.
And so popular then, if it was riddled with things which were problematic? What did Wrath of the Lich King do that made it so good? People, it turns out, like the story. People like Arthas. People like the Lich King a lot. Even those who didn't play Warcraft 3. He was the central antagonist of the expansion. And
everybody knew about the Lich King. My dad knows who the Lich King is.
It was impossible not to know who he was, and that he was now attacking the world, and we're going to have to be defending it from him. And was having a raid tier, Trial of the Crusader, which its sole purpose, lore-wise at least, was to prepare the heroes of Azeroth to assault ICC, was pretty epic. And at the end of the expansion, we do actually definitively take out the big bad guy ourselves and see that the journey is complete. It was very satisfying end to the story. It became much easier than it ever has been to pick up a new class or specialization due to the gearing path and badge gear that we went over prior. This on top of the leveling journey being continually sped up through the likes of heirlooms. Most classes felt better despite showing a lot of buffs and debuffs and more fleshed out. There weren't really any total meme specs anymore which just kind of weren't good for anything, though some were definitely better.
Were there really no meme specs? I mean, Arms Warriors sucked in ICC, I remember that. But they were also really good in PvP, so it's like, were they really that bad? I don't know. Like Moonkin was not amazing, but it was still good. Overall, and Moonkin also gave a pretty unique buff, I think, too. So, like, there's still a reason to bring Moonkins, etc. But, like, yeah, I think ICC and, like, Wrath, just, like, in general, did improve classes a lot. And I think that classes in Wrath of the Lich King felt complete. Like, what I think that they did after Wrath of the Lich King is like from Vanilla WoW to Burning Crusade to Wrath, is they made classes more complete. And then I felt like after Wrath of the Lich King into like Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria, the way that Blizzard iterated and they made classes more interesting is they gave them the abilities that other classes already had. So like, you know, Warriors got Evasion with Die by the Sword. Warriors got, you know, Hand of Justice with the Throwdown, right? And you would start getting abilities that other classes had. And in Wrath of the Lich King, every class still had a lot of uniqueness to it. Yeah, Mages got Heroism. A bunch of other examples. Yeah, that's whenever things started getting homogenized, was in Cataclysm. And I think Cataclysm was still okay, but like by Mists of Pandaria, you just had remember like Warriors had like 3 different banners they could throw down. You needed to use like Enrage Regeneration, you could use Shield Wall, Spell Reflect, Shield Block, like Rallying Cry. Like it was just like all this, like it was like it is the fucking Jackie Chan meme, right? It's like, what the fuck is going on? Oh my god, it was crazy.
Better than others, and there was more reason to class stack now than there was in TBC, but you had a much wider berth of what you actually wanted to play. Those who like their collections and other meta content were given tabs to collect stuff in, achievements to do,
that's
and
the real
more
game.
Compelling reasons to engage with activity that wasn't just solely raid or PvP. Raids in Wrath got off to a shaky start, but Wrath of the Lich King gave us Ulduar and ICC, and the start of real hardcore raiding in World of Warcraft, which offered new or returning players something to aspire towards as well. And of course, it just had the highest player base, which is generally good for an MMORPG.
Everybody was
lots
so
of people,
excited.
active world, good arena population, lots of raids and pug content, and just, well, other people. If you think back to one of your favourite times in World of Warcraft, part of it was probably who you were playing with at the time, not just because of the expansion. People make MMOs good, and Wrath of the Lich King had a lot of people. Honestly, the reception...
Dude, it was so good. Like, you guys remember if you played back then? Do you remember whenever Blizzard would put out the annual, like, quarterly earnings report? And, like, they would say, like, oh, WoW is up to fucking, you know, 3,000, or not 3,000, like, you know, 8 million, 9 million, fucking 10 million subs, you know, oh, we're up again. And, like, everybody in trade chat, so y'all forget this, but, like, everybody in trade chat used to talk about, like, WoW was, like, what was popular. It's not like now where it's, like, WoW is played by, like, dads and a few soccer moms. Like, it was super popular because those dads and soccer moms were in high school back then. And so they were so hyped up. It was like that was the new and happening thing. It was so cool. I remember like Nixian brought that up in a video one time, and I couldn't stop thinking about it.
TBC so far has put a bit of a dampener on the whole thing, to be honest, with people looking away from WoW to other MMOs at the moment. I think that initial sparkle of the big 3 has really started to erode a little bit with us moving from Classic into TBC. And though Blizzard may do fresh, it's not going to be anything remotely similar. And Blizzard hasn't exactly helped the scenario either, what with the 58 boost, the microtransactions, and all the scandals which they seem to just constantly pile on themselves. Remember those comments a few months back saying Classic WoW? No, that's just the TBC waiting room. I wonder how early we're going to see that TBC is the Wrath of the Lich King waiting room starting to crop up. Overall,
I think that a lot of people will think that for PvP. There are a lot of PvPers who will genuinely enjoy Wrath of the Lich King more than Burning Crusade for PvP, and I think they're right to feel that way. I think Wrath of the Lich King PvP was just objectively better than Burning Crusade PvP. I think Burning Crusade PvP was garbage. To be honest with you, I really do. I think that it had all of the same like problems that Classic WoW did, but there was a rating system attached to it as well. It was just like they had like these the random stuns, like just random like resists, and just like RNG gameplay that was like super not fun. Like in Wrath of the Lich King, I think PvP was probably, at least for its time, at its absolute peak in like Season 7 and Season 8. Because at that time, like almost every class was good in some way or another, and any class could one-shot any class if you had the right buffs, and you could outplay almost anyone. Wrath of the Lich King PvP was fucking insane. But Wrath of the Lich King PvE, I think, was like objectively inferior to Burning Crusade. I think Burning Crusade rating was way better just because of the way that it was set up and designed.
A solid expansion as somebody who played it. I don't think I'm going to get nearly the same experience out of it the second time around though, and by that time other competitors on the market should have some interesting releases out too. A bit of a shake-up in the MMO genre, so rather than constantly revisiting the past, we have something to look forwards to, something unknown in the future. If you started World of Warcraft a bit later than Wrath, you'll probably like it if you do end up giving it a go. It combines some of that retail-esque convenience with the class design and raids of old. I can see now why it was looked back upon so well, but at the same time it kind of gives me a don't meet your hero vibes. Free win for Blizzard though, right? Surely.
Wrath of the Lich King was good for its time, but it set the stage for every bad problem the game has now.
Anyways, let me know your thoughts, whether you played Wrath or not, and what you thought about the positives and negatives I brought up here. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening in, and I will see you on the next one very soon.
That was TBC. I think TBC set the stage. Cataclysm did. Nope. Definitely not Cataclysm. Sorry from late Cataclysm. No, Cataclysm just made it worse. Okay?
Hey Buns, so a couple days ago, I got a DM from somebody who said that they had heard me talk about bad players. Can you get into more details of that? Because I suck, and playing team games and raids are a pain for me because I don't like talking to people.
Just get good.
I just want to play the game solo if possible, but realize
just be good.
I can't. Now, they had heard me talk about bad players in the context of a conversation about boosting. Someone else had brought up the argument that if you pay real money to level your character, it's more likely you'll be bad because you'll end up with a ton of high-level skills that you have no idea
100%
how to use.
true.
Now, that's, of course, assuming you don't take the time to read the tooltips and figure it out.
Yeah.
But I had countered that by saying that you can absolutely be bad without boosting. Like, as far as I know, there's...
It's kind of like a degree of certainty. So, like, if somebody boosts their character, there's a higher chance that they're going to be bad at what they're boosting than if they leveled it themselves. But the chances are still pretty fucking high either way.
No alternate ending to Heaven's Word where Harshaphon teaches you how to slide cast. But I thought this was a really good question that a lot of players might want some more clarification on. Like, what actually makes a bad player? What qualifies as good? Or at least decent? To me, being bad means that you're not only performing like shit, but you also won't listen to anyone. You won't look up guides, you won't read your tooltips, you are willfully ignorant, or worse, you've even got such a big ego about how you know everything that you think that there's nothing that any other person could say that could possibly be helpful to you.
Because you're above that, man.
Who the universe revolves around. Like, you think the sun comes up just to hear you crow. I think there's a really big and important difference to be made here between being bad and learning. Because, as I'm fond of quoting Jake the dog, sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at it. I remember being new.
Winning looks a lot like losing until you win. That's the truth. Is that you have to lose and you have to fuck up in order for you to succeed.
And I just didn't even know what to focus on or what was important.
At least I do.
And my attention, I'm a little scatterbrained.
I have to fuck up a lot.
And so
sometimes I fuck up the same thing like 5 times.
And I didn't know like where to focus it. I was just kind of flying by the seat of my pants through the story, having fun wherever I could find it, and not stressing too much about anything in particular. But however, whenever I did join a static and there was a helpful person in my group who let me know, hey, do you know your DPS could be a little better? Or hey, do you know that materia is really important? Or hey, did you notice that your dots keep falling off? I didn't know any of that, but once that was brought to my attention...
What is materia? Gems. That's crazy. You know, you learn something new every day.
And this very helpful person showed me how to use an abacus to check my damage.
Oh, that little thing where you go back and forth.
That. Anyway, they were very helpful. They showed me once I got that information, I was very, very receptive to it, and I listened, and it helped me become a much better player. Maybe some people would have said I was bad, but I think that I showed a willingness to learn, and I was very interested in all the advice I could get my hands on, and I started like watching guides about how to play my job, and
I have to learn things by doing it wrong. That's why, like, whenever I play a video game, the first thing I do is like, all right, how can I kill my character? All right, can I jump off the edge? Okay, can I stab myself? Like, how do I kill my character? Like, just so I want to get like a fucking parameter in here to understand what the world that we're dealing with is like. I learn by doing. I could say I think I learn things by doing, but I really learn them by fucking them up. It's a little bit more honest.
I personally, looking back at myself, I wouldn't necessarily say that I was a bad player, even if I was playing kind of bad at the time. I think that might be another important distinction to make. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit too final to call somebody, oh, you're a bad player, because it sounds like there's nowhere to go from here. Like, this is just a label that you have on yourself, and you can't grow out of it. Instead, I prefer to say, maybe I'm playing bad. I am playing bad on Samurai right now. It's kind of like how my dad used to say, you're being an idiot. Instead of saying, you're an idiot.
No, people are going to think that that's a personal insult anyway because they're stupid and they're mad. But yeah, I think that's a real...
I think I'm going to call it here for today. Been live for 15 and a half-ish hours, so... I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to read a friend of mine. So, I will see you later. Hope you enjoyed the stream. We will have a wonderful day now, morning, evening, afternoon. See you later. Bye-bye.